my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. You know we my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Play action now. Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out.
Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 34.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Whip. Go on. Check three. Watch twist. Hey,
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
60 Pittsburgh. Any weapons? Switch. Hey, Wahoo! Hit it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. Let's see if they can do better now. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, Never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 46.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
He's coming. We got, hey, orbit. Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 16 yards, a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss.
Alert 3. Back. Get it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
3rd down and long.
Set. 70. Indy. Ready?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. And the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
At the 28-yard line.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A throw over the middle taken in. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Bridgewater. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Go, go. 24 is the mic. Right, go.
Now back to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards.
So how many more years are we going to define this position as running back? I really feel like we're evolving into something else because they have to be such a hybrid, don't they? Guys who can run it, but they love to have those guys with hands like a wide receiver.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. Off the play fake, Bridgewater steps away. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
45, 45. Mike, 45. It's a party now. It's a party now. Check 99.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they try the right side here. 11 yards there, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Exit. What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I'm coming.
2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That one good for 33 and a first. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Bridgewater on first down. This will be caught. It's Mack, the tight end. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
Bridgewater with a keeper. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
And the Saints, first down.
Here we go. Ancient data, ancient data.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now he'll escape to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. On play action, they'll throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
That's a gain of 10. Brings up 3rd and 2.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 24-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you. I got you.
Bridgewater. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He finds Yeldon. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5.
Get ready.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Right there, 54.
From the gun, Bridgewater. This is complete to Michael Thomas. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing is Bridgewater. Flush to his right. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Kamara. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Kamara. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
Now Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So this one a victory here for New Orleans.